how do you describe a good character? It comes in many packages, small ones, big ones, middle ones, whatever you want to call it. But for many people, you have to wait for the right character to be here. You have to read many chapters to see which characters you like. And even sometimes you can be basic as hell and love the main character. But there's definitely more than him. There are so many more characters in any series basically to have more potential than the main character itself, whether it's physically or mentally. They'll probably even do more than the main character too, depending on the one reading the series, because people got different opinions and different choices. I respect that, but if your choice is really bad, then I'll tell you. But for this video, you guys, I will be talking about Yuto Takeda, the light welterweight champion, a character that tried to prove for almost 22 years that he doesn't need talent to be a boxer. Training with ambition is the only thing he needs to become someone. That's why he got the light welterweight champion belt. That's why he became a pro boxer, because of hard training. But before I start talking about Yuto, make sure you guys subscribe, because you are 95% not subscribed every time I do a webtoon video, so it would really be appreciated if you subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter for even more webtoon content. My name is Fear, and this is Yuto Takeda with his real talent. Is it fun to hit people? As a kid, Yuto was a normal boy like me and you, but there was something that made him unique in his own way, like how he's always got up after getting punched. Even in his first day at the gym, he was only 8 years old, and after throwing his first punch, he fell on the ground and smiled at his father, but he still stood up and continued to practice. At that moment, he wanted to assure his father that even when he falls down, he'll always get up. And in this series, they know how to explain when someone has more talent than another. And when that happens, you see a natural movement that they practice. And when they actually fight, we see what kind of talent they were hiding. Whether it's speed, strength, durability, stance, etc. But when they execute their moves, we see a flow that they all look focused on. And that is called an athletic ability. A natural flow of energy that is delivered every time a movement is proceeded. Now, knowing that he doesn't have any athletic talent whatsoever, his natural flow would be hard to control. But that didn't stop him to continue to train and train, just to get the satisfaction of his father. And as you can see, we are slowly but slowly getting into his real potential. We are entering his bubble that can help us understand him as a better character and as a boxer. But of course, all of that had to stop slowly after the sad incident that his father had to get in, killing him in the process, creating a new atmosphere to Yuto, already having his mom in the hospital and now his father 6 foot deep underground. I don't know how it feels to have a dad, because, you know, he wasn't there when I needed him, but when I saw how Yuto cheered his father like his hero, it made me understand what dads are here for in the first place. And a week after his father died, his mother went on and joined him in the afterlife. What was left for Yuto, you ask? His gloves and his depressive coach, who fully adopted Yuto. And after those terrible events, Yuto was still motivated to train because of the influence of his father. And the coach was in a big depression after 2 of her best friends died. She asks Yuto, what is the purpose of life? As a kid, he answered with his heart, and by taking the advice of his father, he answered that he doesn't need to be scared of fear, like losing someone he loves. By becoming stronger like his father, he won't let that happen. A really motivational speech coming from a kid. It reminds me of someone, but now, even after losing his parents, he's still trying to prove that 1, he'll be as strong as his dad, and 2, even without talent, you can go somewhere in life. So after a couple of years of hard training, Misaki, the coach, realized something different about Yuto, or something growing on him. Of course, character growth would be normal at this point, but it was more than that. It was some kind of gift growing on him. But later on, when he entered high school, he tried to give a good impression about himself by protecting a victim from getting bullied, but it did not end up as expected. He just wanted people around him to be friends, but people don't share the same ideas than others. And of course, for Yuto, physics do not matter, but it depends because he's a boxer, but outside of boxing, he's a human like you and me, and he's just trying to have peace around him, but people don't understand that. They think that being a boxer means that you need to be violent and greedy 24/7, but that's not true. Yuto, with his beautiful character, shows us another path to boxing, a more passive path if you ask me, where he only uses his fist for the ring and not for outside if necessary. He'll use them on the right character, but for now he's just using them for justice. Days went by and the bully somewhat understood what Yuto tried to do, but he really couldn't trust Yuto, so he kidnapped the victim, who eventually becomes Yuto's friend, but a surprise was waiting for him, and this surprise was his first challenge, an unknown boxer that calls himself an anti-hero, and after fighting him, Yuto lost and went straight up in the hospital, where he woke up to a message that his friend left him, saying that he went on a boat working for the Marines, leaving Yuto with Misaki. But after he read that message, Misaki noticed something different about him, and it was the same feeling she had back then, where she felt that something is growing in Yuto. Regardless, after this night, Yuto decided to focus only in boxing and quit high school. The best way to find out if all of this training paid off was to fight the anti-hero that he fought before, but of course, after failing multiple times, he trained even harder than before, but no result. He was always getting down whatsoever, but after getting knocked out so many times and trained harder every time he got down, he unlocked muscle memory from all this trauma, and the more he got KO'd, the more he gets used to it, but mentally it didn't help him. He was literally mumbling everything he did wrong when losing to the anti-hero, but the next day it all changed when he expected every movement from him, which he wins the battle later on. After this match, Misaki finally understood what was so different about him. After all these years, she finally figured out what potential Yuto had, and it wasn't a talent or a gift that he had, but something human that everybody calls hope. With that said, Yuto wants to prove that no matter the case of your situation, there's always going to be hope around somewhere in your life. But of course, that wasn't it. In the championship fight he had with Yu, Yuto showed us his real talent that was surpassing his own limit by effort and will, but at a level that nobody saw before. And by doing that, he entered a world of freedom that only people with talent can enter, a phase of natural fighting. Of course, this is not his story. Putting him against someone like you wasn't fair at all, so in the end, I think that Yuto is totally the best character in the series, hands down, and the fact that he's trying to prove to everyone and himself that he can be better or do better and become stronger than anyone else only by training and hope shows us what kind of emotion different characters can have when it comes to boxing. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more webtoon videos, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.